Today we're going to learn the letter H. So this is lesson 2 in volume 2 of the Alphabet Town Adventures series. Turn to page 14 and we're going to look at the big letter H and the little letter H and tell me if you think that they look alike. They both have lines down, but this one has different line across and that has a different thing going on. So I don't know, I don't think they look very much alike. So I'm gonna circle N for no. So let's look a little closer at the big letter H and see what we see. What lines do we see? Do we see a line down? Yeah, we see 2 lines down right there. So let's circle that one. Do we see a line across? Yes, we do right there. In fact, those are the only lines that it takes to make a big letter H. We don't use any slide lines, any curved lines, any hook lines, or a dot. So H is done. Lines down, line across. Now let's look at little letter H. Do we see a line down? I do right there. So let's circle that one. For little letter H, do we see any lines across? No. Do we see any slide lines? No. Do we see any curved lines on little letter H? No. But I do see this hook line. See that little hook right here? There's a hook going right there. So I'm going to circle this hook line. I don't see a hook line going that way or a dot though. What I see is a line down, a hook, and another line down. Is that what you see? Okay, so I think we're done with this. We figured out what lines it takes to make both of the H's. If you turn the page to page 15, we can see a big H with their lines all separated. We took it apart and it was just a line down, a line across, and a line down. That's what it takes to make an H. But the order that we write it is like this. We make a line down, and then last is when we make the line across. We make a line down, line across. That's the order. Line down, line across. And so that's how we're going to make our big letter H. Now that we put it all back together, do it in that same order. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. And you see that I always start at the top going down. It's easier that way. Line down, line across. So now you pause the video and make your H's. Make sure you're holding your pencil the big kid way. And I did forget to do warm-up exercises with you, so just go like this really quick and get your fingers all ready to go. Okay, pause the video and make your big H. How did you do? I feel like big H is a kind of an easy letter. Did you feel that way because you're just making straight lines? Yeah, you guys are probably getting really good at making straight lines. So let's put a little bit of challenge in it with little letter H. You ready? For little letter H, we're going to make that line down, and you're good at that. Then we're going to come up here and make a hook and another line. A hook can be tricky sometimes. You're just kind of going up and curving around like a rainbow. So you're going to get to practice this hook right now. Start with the line down and then go over to this start and make your hook. Go really careful and try to stay on those lines and then make your little line down. Make the big line down. You're going to make your hook and another little line down. Line down, hook, line down. That's the order that we're going to make the little H. So do it again. Once we put all of it back together to little H, we'll do line down, hook, line down, hook, line down. Some people like to go line down and just go back up with their pencil, But I'm going to teach you just to go line down, hook, and down. I think it'll be easier for you. Line down, hook, and down. That's little letter H. Go ahead and pause the video and you give it a try. Okay, I'm back with you. Good job writing your letters. You're doing so good. Now it's time for us to join the little letter H's in the H classroom and see what sound they make. So, if you'll notice, the little H classroom didn't look like a classroom at all. Instead, there was a hill with a steep trail going up the side of it. Teacher H right here gave them all little hiking boots to put on. See all the little H's with their hiking boots? She told them that the hike was long and it might make them breathe hard. While they were hiking along, huffing and puffing, Teacher H told them to pay attention to the sound their breath makes. That is the sound H makes, she said. So we are going to practice that sound while we hike up the hill. The hike certainly was challenging for the little H's. They moved their arms back and forth like this. Do you ever do this when you're hiking? They moved their arms back and forth, huffing and puffing all the way, making sounds as they hiked. Let's see if you can try it. This is going to be our action when we sing. Pretend like you've got some walking sticks or you're walking up a hill and it's steep and you're breathing hard. All right, let's go ahead and sing the song now and practice with making that sound. H says, H says, H says. When you make that H sound, can you feel the breath coming out? Put your hand out front and go. You can feel it coming out, can't you? Let's try the song one more time and you pretend you're hiking with me. Ready? H says, H says, H says. Good job. Can you think of some things that start with the letter H? Look around your house and see if, oh, I just said an H word, house. House. But if you look outside, you might find a hose. Or maybe your favorite animal is a horse. Or maybe you can feel your heart beating. Maybe you like to wear hats. Look around and see what other things you can find that start with letter H. You guys remember that every time the teachers teach the little letters their sound, they need help fixing their whiteboard because they want to put pictures up there of things that start with H that make that sound. So what we're going to do is help teacher H by turning to page 19 in your book. Here are some things that start with H. So carefully tear this page out. You might need some help so you don't tear it. I'm trying to be so careful. Get your scissors and hold it with your helper hand. Those are H words. Did you hear that? Helper hand. So we're going to cut these out with our scissors, with our helper hand, holding the page. Turn it. Sounds like I'm saying lots of H words today, huh? Okay, now that all that extra paper is gone, I'm going to speed up the video and cut out each individual picture. Okay, friends, I'm back with you. Did you cut out your pictures? I have mine all ready to go and my glue stick ready. So first, I picked up a picture of a hammer. The next picture I found is a heart. I have a picture of a hose. And I have a hat. There we go. Those are some things that start with H. You could always draw your own pictures of things that start with H and add it to the whiteboard. But let's go back in our book and rewrite our letters, because we know the sound, but we also need to know how to write the letters. Both of those things are super important. So let's look down here at our big letter H and remind ourselves what lines we need to make. We need to make a line down, and a line across. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. Line down, line across. That's big letter H. Pause the video and give it a try. Now we're going to rewrite our little letter H's. Remember that it's a line down, then we're going to make that little hook and another line down. Line down, hook, 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 line down. Just like that. And that's how we make big H and little h. You're doing so good. Are you proud of yourself? Wow, you're learning so many letters. Well, the rest of the week, you might want to do some fun things with letter H, like reading some books that have an H in the title. One of the books that I love is Harold and the Purple Crayon. Harold starts with H. Listen, Harold. There's a book called The Little Red Hen that has a really good lesson in it. You might want to read that one. Or Harry the Dirty Dog. He's so naughty. And there's a book called The Hat. That one's a funny one. And you could read a book about animal homes. Some other things you could do that are games that start with letter H is playing hula hoops or hopscotch. You can draw a picture of your house and learn your address. It's really important for you to know where you live, and you could go look at the front of your house and see the number on it and see the name of the street and learn your address. You could make up a fun treasure hunt and do that. You could learn about animal habitats. That's the places where they live, and you can learn about that. And you know that I always think it's fun to build letters in Play-Doh, so you could always do that too. So those are some fun things to do with letter H. I hope you remember H says ha, ha, ha. See you next time.